Okay, so one of the things that is getting more popular, but it's really fucking old, is grapevining, the guard player grapevining. Now, how I do the grapes, a lot of people do it a little different. Okay, I look at it like elevators in a certain way. You can rest, but
Yep.
so when the guys, whether or not I use closed guard to pull him off so he's not sitting on his heels, or he's not sitting on his heels in general, and I can drop and turn my feet out and get hooks on his ankle, basically shin bone area. If I try to just straighten them, what happens a lot of the time, unless he's laying on me, you'll slide right out. So what you want to do in that case, when you get those grapes, squeeze the knees, you want to pull him up. So think of it kind of like a butterfly where you would lift. It's the same thing where you would lift. Once the weight transfers to me, I stretch him out, and boom. Okay? Now, the pros and cons of a grapevine, all right? The pros are it breaks posture. It's easy to go from grapevines to butterflies. So if you're like, hey, I want to switch to butterflies and find my way out, or I'm a butterfly player, but shit, I got stuck in guard, grapes are great for that. I use the grapes also as sweeps, and you can do just do one grape and keep 1 foot on the hip. So you can use just as one hook. And that what happens is when you grape one leg, it angles the body a certain way. Okay? Just like I think I taught this on mount in my off with their head instructional, because it's a different way to finish the arm triangle. So single grapes go a long way. Now, when I was at highest stand, everybody did grapes, so I picked it up pretty fast from there. Okay? Some of the downfalls for the bottom guy when he grapes is if I land on him, our hips are kind of smothered. So he'll keep me from hitting him. But if he doesn't time like the Kimura or guillotine or switch to butterflies or whatever the case is, he's just got a big slab of meat laying on his hips and he's not going to move too well. But I'm not hitting him either because I'll be down, he'll have control. Regardless, you don't really want to stay there long because you're kind of paralyzed. And depending on who you are, you could have some serious grapevines. And, when I was training Randy Couture, I also trained his son back then. And his son, wiry, bony, strong kid. And his grapevines hurt me like hell. So when I would let them drill it, most people when they grape me, yeah, it's all right, it's tough. But he was just wiry, strong kid. And when he would lock those up, it fucking hurt. So some guys are just sick with that stuff, like a Les Gutches or something like that. And you don't know who it's going to be necessarily. Bony, strong, like bony, wiry, strong guys. Yeah, sometimes they have some great grapes. But I've met some small guys that when they grape, man, it fucking sucks. So everybody's a little different when it comes to grapevines. So don't get freaked out if you're a certain body type. All body types can grapevine. Okay? The tougher they are with grapevines, the harder, obviously, to escape. Now, when you go to escape them, ideally, you'll be able to do it just with your legs and hips. Not ideally, you might have to start grabbing some ass and pulling up. Okay, so the thing about that grapevine is if I get graped out here, which I'll demonstrate in a second, I need to move backwards. So I need to kick and escape one. Now, once I escape one, I can easily escape two. So when I go from here, I can flip my foot off his foot and come forward. It's not that easy, especially because when you're grapebound, you're going to turn your knees in and feet out. It's not that easy to pick up and flip on a guy that's got great grapes. He's got crappy loose grapes. You don't feel his legs squeezing you. You'll be able to just flip your foot off, okay? But most of the time, they got good grapes. You got to beat one, then you got to beat the other. Okay? So that's my experience. So just giving that little backward slide, and then the next one, if you have to do the other one the same way, you can. Other words, a lot of times you can just flip your foot off and go. Now, if he's got medieval grapevines, you might have to lock under his butt, and when you go to escape those, pull him up as you slide down. It's not great, but you could set yourself up for a good low pass, like a double pass and things like that. When he gets grapes, don't rest, because grapes turn to elevators really fast, or butterflies, and if your hips down and sprawled out, you don't really have a good body position to grapple. So it's going to be very easy for him to start manipulating you. All right, so let's try this. Okay, so we're here. So like I said, if I'm here, he uses his guard to pull me forward. Now he can drop for the grapes. Now from here, pinch your knees against my body. Ooh, see, just by doing that, I feel it. Now, if he tries to stretch it, it's probably going to not go anywhere. But if he brings his feet up and pulls me forward, I start posting. Now stretch it. Now he's got me locked. And he's got pretty damn good grapes here. I'm glad he's not trying to hurt me, okay? Now from here, no matter where my hands are, I'm trying to be safe. I got to start getting past this. I'm going to start picking aside, like screw this crap. And I'm going to scoot back and drop one hip down. Now from here, I can try to flip my foot off and come back on. Worst case scenario, just get this grid. Worst case scenario, I switch it and come back up. Okay? Real simple. If you can't sink, you're gonna have to lock it again, son. Okay, perfect. If he's too strong, I'm gonna go like I'm grabbing some ass. And now I can pull and give him a little thumb. Okay, and now 1, 2, and now I'll set up my own low pass, or it depends, whatever you want to do. But if he grapes you, go right to beating it. Don't wait. All right, just like a foot on the hip. You got to solve that problem right away.